evening. Hello there. Welcome to Explore the Beyond Scales of Destiny. We're back. Been 3 weeks since we've played. It's been a while. Due to illness and work getting in the way. But we're back now. It's all Gucci. As you may be aware, Yathina is not here. He's in chat. Which episode is this? Episode 44? Episode 44? Don't know. Episode 44? Brando? Episode 42? 43? 43. Episode 43. I know what we're doing. Episode 43. The Scales of Destiny. Well, I mean, you know, if you're watching on YouTube later, why don't you do the YouTube thing of maybe watching the whole thing and giving it a like and maybe subscribing if you haven't already. And if you're watching on Twitch and you've not subscribed yet, not followed yet, do that. That'd be cool. Other than that, let's bring in the players and see what's happening. Hello, players.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are we all doing?
Good.
Good.
I can say that this Rubicon drink is quite nice. Not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored, but hashtag should be.
Yes.
I feel like, Rob, you're going to be our trip to actual sponsorship with the amount of stuff you just plug on stream.
Just randomly plug something. Oh, this mousepad. Just like...
This highly expensive food and drink that you could definitely send us free.
Yes. Open to sponsorship.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I'm glad we're all doing well. Let's play some D&D. It's been too long, I think.
Yes.
Who was it that's doing the recap?
Me.
Josh. Go for it.
Good.
So, long time ago, no. 3 weeks, not that long. We basically started with Sköld and Aqua being forced to go to sleep, while Vic being immune to it, and us being taken by the puzzle/guardian dwarf somewhere. Now, Sköld and Aqua wake up in what seems to be this new cave system with lava flowing all around us. We're on these things. There's giant rams, statues. There's what looks to be giant dwarfs as well. And he basically leads us to these stairs that we go up to. And there's a dwarf up there who doesn't really have much of his body left, I don't think, because he has a hammer for one hand and a claw for the other. His name was Dwas. Yeah. He's pretty annoyed. Keeps asking us what we're doing about in the hive, because apparently it's his hive. And we've been killing all his creatures. We counter that by asking him what the hell he's doing here. We don't really get much until we do get that Asoa the dragon dropped him off. It is Asoa, isn't it? It's been a while since I've heard her name. Yes, my memory.
It seems like ages.
Seems like such a long time.
But she got the whether or not it was the date or the timing wrong, she got the placement for him wrong, and he's been mining the walls out to get to where he needs to go to protect whatever it is he's meant to be protecting. Our choices were, at the time, to suicide and try and kill him, or we die. No,
Wait,
yeah.
what? I don't think either of those happened.
No, our choices were to mine the wall for him or die. That's what I meant to say. It's been a while. After some talking, we agreed to help him reluctantly, and we do end up mining the last bit of the wall out for him. And he goes into the open cave that we've just opened up, which he's in there for a couple of minutes, I believe, until we start hearing thuds, and we get a quick glimpse of what seems to be a fire giant that he then sends a ton of cobalt to attack. And in the amount of confusion that's going on, us three make a daring escape, and we come out on the other side of the mountain range, where the wasteland has been destroyed. Wasteland? Yeah, no, the land is now wasteland. My words, they're great today.
The wasteland has been destroyed.
So it's been
Known as a wasteland.
revitalized.
So, as we escape, we see that lava is pouring everywhere, and we have to try and find a clear path to make it over the mountains to the other side to continue our quest, which is to either warn the king or find the Valkyrie. We spend a couple of days traveling until we get to I can't even say it now, my words have just lost me. Yeah, cheers. And it's surrounded by lava. So we decide that there's no way we're going to possibly make it to the city. So we decide to get somewhere nice and safe and camp for the night.
Just playing like dirty campers.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's where we're at.
Fair? That's
Okay.
fair.
That was a good recap, actually. Filled in a lot of blanks that I had gone,
That was a solid recap. Well done, Josh.
despite your
Let-
directions.
I liked the part where you bravely ran away.
Yeah, we bravely ran away.
I like the part where you said that, what's his face, Jonathan Ross got dropped off at the wrong time, as if that had an impact on where he is. It's just like, it
Hey,
was
when it's
good.
been that long, some details are going to be a little muddled.
I like it.
A unique spin on every backstory.
Of course, of course. Okay. So, the three of you are currently up on an outcrop, I believe, away from any flowing lava, making sure to stay safe and have a rest, because you are, I think you were also exhausted because of the journey.
Yes.
You managed to get your long rest in, and are sort of ready for the day ahead. It's going to be, well, the journey ahead, let's say. It's, you know, the general direction of where Ambrynn Hammerhelm's sort of abode is, where she's staying, where she sort of keeps herself to herself. While you don't know exactly where it is, you can pretty quickly find your way. You know that from where you are, it's basically west and a little bit south, on the north side of the bay that Linhof, the city that you first arrived on Kirdaral, is based. The question is, are you setting off straight away, or is there anything else you'd like to do in the meantime?
I'd like to answer that question with another question.
Okay.
Does a long rest cure all exhaustion or only one?
Just one.
Okay, drop that down to
Yeah.
one.
One per day.
Yeah, I've got one left.
Yeah. Okay.
So for the purposes of this, you will have -1 to all d20 rolls
Oh, yeah.
until that exhaustion goes away.
Okay.
So, I guess would we be able to estimate how long it will take us to get to this place?
You know that from Kirdaral it's about 2 to 3 days. Judging by the fact that you're currently in a fairly unfamiliar part of this island. But it shouldn't be too difficult to find your way, especially with Sköld, who is more familiar with the kind of journey between his hometown and Kirdaral. His hometown, of course, being loading on the map right now. Bolter.
Voltaire. I've gone from
Alright.
being like, what was it, Scandinavian to being Spanish with my pronunciation.
Yes, there's been a definite shift on your part.
Very
What
European.
Yeah, there
that's
we
what
go.
happens when you like learn a bit of Spanish. Everything else turns Spanish.
It's all that time in Edinburgh.
Oh yeah, the Spanish population over there very
Mhm.
strong.
So yeah, basically it should only take you maximum 3 days of traveling. It's not hard going. As long as you stay on the path, don't get lost, you'll be fine.
Can we try to find some wild horses on the way? I mean, look out for them, I guess. Chances are slim, but you know.
They're very slim. Wild horses aren't particularly native to this island, due to the fact that there's no real grazing ground for them to live on. They generally end up being either tame and living in places where they're fed food independently or elsewhere on different islands. I mean, if you want to search through the kind of burnt out and dying woods that you are nearby for animals to ride, then feel free. I mean, I'm not going to stop you. But horses are unlikely.
Okay, I don't think we'll need to search for them, but I guess if on the way to our destination I saw some tracks or something, I guess, or something, I'd maybe recommend a detour maybe to see if we can find something.
Okay.
On a related note, if we do find a wild animal of any sort, what is the chances of being able to tame it enough to ride it? It doesn't have to be a horse, just anything that would bear the load.
Well, that would depend massively on your experience with taming animals overall.
Is that animal handling by any chance?
Well, I mean, mechanically, yes.
It's alright, I'll persuade it if it comes to it. I've got a great horse voice.
No, it's a secret talent of mine. Didn't I ever tell you?
Oh, no.
You know, you've got ironmongers. Well, I'm a horsemonger. I bend horses into shape.
Yes. Sköld is the world-renowned horsebreaker. Yeah. Okay. So I mean, you can keep a lookout for animals to tame on the way through. That's fine.
It's like a giant rat. Just, yeah.
So yeah, as you set off, the terrain, the further from the mountains you get, becomes a bit less desolate, a bit more hospitable. There's a bit more cover from the sort of ashy volcanic cloud that's basically covering the majority of the island right now. And while it's not perfect, it does give you some respite. The canopy of the trees, despite being fairly dead and not in good shape, is also it's good for a bit of a break from it. Especially since you've been travelling out in the open for so long. Gives you a bit of shade, a bit of cover. But any leaves and kind of foliage on the trees and shrubbery is very brittle and dry and prone to just breaking immediately as you touch it. Who's leading the party on this expedition, by the way?
Suppose I should be, if I know the way, or know roughly my surroundings.
Okay. Make a survival check for me. You've never been this way, this direct way, but you have a vague idea of where you're going. And with a 24,
Still one.
with a 24, there's definitely a sense of recognition to it. As you head off in the morning, heading west, you kind of recognize a few landmarks that you've traveled before between Voltaire and Kirdaral, which helps you to begin with. And then you kind of just know to keep the mountains behind you, and even in like the thickest part of the forest, you can still see them due to how light the foliage is, I guess. What's the marching order? Is it you at the front, Aqua, then Vic, or?
Yeah, I think that makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can do that.
Sandwich to squish.
Okay, so while Sköld is leading, who is keeping watch? Anybody kind of looking around, make sure you're not being followed, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I am. If they're looking out for horses, I'm keeping an eye out for anything else.
Okay, make a perception check. Okay, nice. Good start. Good rolls to start with. The first few hours go by fairly uneventfully. There's a few sort of quick conversations between you. Nothing overly taxing. But there's also nothing that alarms you and draws your attention. You don't seem to be being followed. You don't have nothing alarms you throughout the first half of the day. Vic, make an investigation check, see if you can find any wild animals that look beast of burden-y. The wildlife in this forest, if you could call it a forest, is sparse. And while you do see a few birds and a few kind of lesser rodents and such, there's nothing huge that you would consider rideable.
Okie dokes.
The first half of the day passes. Sköld, make another survival check for me.
Okay. Oof.
There's a few hours where, despite the forest being quite sparse, you do lose yourself a little bit. You probably lose about 4 hours of traveling time, just purely by kind of mistake, essentially. You kind of make a big circle and end up coming back on yourself.
Oh dear.
And eventually you realize this because you're like, wait, there are tracks, but these are our tracks. Oh no. So the second half of the day is kind of taken up by just walking back on yourself a couple of times. And the first day ends. with an uneventful day, but also not well used, a not well used kind of day. You find yourself a nice little spot to make a camp for rest, and settle down for the evening. And are you taking watches, or are you going to just kind of brave it?
I think we take watches as usual.
Okay.
Yeah.
You settle down for your longer than normal watches due to being a member down. Who's going first?
I can go first.
Okay.
I mean, he did get us lost.
True.
You don't know that.
Definitely knows that. 100% knows. All right. Is there anything you'd like to do during your watch, or are you just gonna?
Yeah, I'd like to consult the circlet because feeling a bit lost, in sort of in direction. What I should be doing? I've kind of lost my goal with now being potentially a pile of ash. Well, literally a pile of ash, but unknown.
She do be a pile of ash. It's true.
And the labyrinth that we're meant to clear out has been, well, somewhat cleared out, but we kind of got distracted by something else, and yeah, I'm just feeling a bit like meh. So I'm just wondering if it could give me any words of wisdom as to what we should be doing next.
Okay. There's a pause after you kind of inquire. The circlet just sort of sits dormant on your head. The voice doesn't enter your consciousness. And just as you're sort of giving up hope a little bit, just as you're starting to think there's nothing it can do or say, it pops up. And you should follow the path that you believe to be right, even if it may confuse at the time. What do you think is right to do?
Well, before we got on all of this journey, I suppose we were to find where that egg had got to. I suppose we've learnt a bit. We now know that Ysoa might be still out there. Maybe we need to report back and don't know. I don't know.
Do you think Ysoa is back or never left?
Until I see it with my own eyes. Difficult to say for certain.
The evidence suggests that she might not have gone, but also seeing is believing.
Suppose the Valkyrie will give us some, or hope to give us more concrete information. Maybe then, well, Ysoa is going to be the number one reason for why this egg disappeared. Because of her origin, after all. So finding her, maybe we'll find the egg, if she is back, or never left.
Ambrynn knows of the egg. Whether she knows now where it lies or who took it, I am not certain.
Suppose it's a good place to start.
It's a better place than nothing.
Well, then we shall march on. We'll find her.
Follow your own wisdom sometimes, Sköld. Doubting yourself is natural, but you are more capable than you believe sometimes.
Maybe we should go back and confront that fire golem when we have more strength and more numbers. There might be more hidden that we did not see.
Dragon's lairs are notorious for traps and unseen threats. It was wise to leave. Would have been brave but foolish to stay. Success was possible, but at what cost? Returning with more strength, with more numbers. You can't go wrong.
Thank you. I will think this over more, and I think I know what needs to be done.
Then I have done my duty.
Okay.
Sort of the consciousness that you feel in the circlet kind of disapparates again, and you're left with the soft snoring of your comrades just echoing through the valley or vale that you happen to be in right now.
Well, one last thing before the watch ends is that I'll pray to my God for safe travels and guidance, if need be.
Make a religion check.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I haven't prayed in a while.
You haven't prayed in a while, and it shows. You get a few of your kind of go-to prayers a little bit mixed up. The kind of bread and butter, like lead-in prayers just get a bit slipped up, and there's so much going on in your head right now that it's difficult to piece your thoughts together. You don't feel anything in response right now. Make a perception check for your watch, please.
Perception. That's persuasion.
Yeah. Nice. You feel a few of the kind of more nocturnal wildlife beasties waking up and kind of watching the three of you a little bit warily, keeping their distance. Nothing seems overly threatening, they're just curious. And throughout your watch, nothing seems to really happen. Whom do you wake?
Suppose I wake Aqua next.
Okay. How do you wake Aqua?
Be, kind and considerate and just give him a little nudge. I think we've all had enough to not require a rude awakening.
Nudge with your warhammer to the face.
A gentle nudge like this.
He would still somehow miss.
Wow. Fired.
I'll throw it at you next time.
Joke's on you, not a giant.
Aqua.
Yes.
You're awoken by Sköld, who, while, tired, just seems a little bit more content in himself. And it's your turn for watch.
So, for my first little bit, I am going to summon Echo into the world.
Okay. Nice.
That was close.
You spend a little bit of time casting the ritual to bring Echo back.
And when he's back, he's going to just help me kind of watch. So, he's
Okay.
going to... And then at some points, I probably use the ability to be able to see through his eyes while he's up a bit higher to get a better view. But that's pretty much mostly my night.
Okay. Roll a perception check with Echo's perception, please.
I don't have him on my thing, so I can not with Echo.
There is a solution to this. Roll with +3.
Yeah.
D20 +3.
D20 +3. Okay.
Okay. The two of you kind of taking it in turns to keep watch. Again, you notice a few of the kind of nocturnal fauna and wildlife eyeing the three of you warily, but never making an approach. There's no seeming threats anywhere.
Nice.
And your watch comes to an end. Time to wake Vic.
Yeah, I go over. I sort of bang on his armor because I'm assuming he's not sleeping in it. I'm assuming he's took it off.
Mm-hmm.
So I banged on his armor to wake him up. Oh, Vic, it's your go.
Very
And then-
well.
I head off to bed, and while in bed, Echo perches on my head and falls asleep on my head.
Okay, nice. Vic, it's your watch. What are you doing?
So I've been recently practicing some runic business.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to practice sending some notes and stuff. I never got any replies via different spells or anything.
Not
Is
yet.
that true?
No, but you did send off. I think you sent something to Steelbrow, didn't you?
Yeah, I think
you
I've tried twice.
Mm-hmm. You're not entirely sure whether it made it, but currently you've not had a reply.
Okay.
You know it got delivered. You're just not sure who to.
Okay.
Yeah, the steel brow.
Yes.
Fair enough. So I'd like to try something slightly different. Maybe a useful thing, maybe a good thing for a prank.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see if I can kind of like work out some kind of that. I say like a purify kind of like rune. So basically, my whole plan is I'd like to be able to work out how to maybe let's say turn like other liquids into water. Say for example. So if I could purify, if I could put that on Aqua's flask, whenever he puts that alcohol in it, it turns it to water.
Oh, I thought you were going to do a Bear Grylls.
No. That would work as well, though. So it is the survival way.
Okay.
So, I mean, just something that might work in that way to purify a liquid.
Roll a d20 and add 6. Your expertise, basically.
Okay, plus 6.
I don't like that noise.
I'm not doing it on his flask just yet, but I just want to see if this would work. So maybe I'll be doing it on like a little cup first to see if.
You pull out a goblet or two, and the first time is a bit rough. You engrave around the entirety of the goblet a series of runes that you think should mesh together in a way that allows for purification of liquid. And you pour in some of the alcohol you have remaining, and it doesn't work necessarily It kind of does, but it's still a bit, alcoholic. But you know where you made the mistake. The second time round, you get it absolutely perfectly great. You've purified alcohol into water, and you also managed to figure out a way to engrave it in such a way that you can just engrave it on the bottom of the goblet, in like a circle, so that it doesn't really stand out or anything, and
Okay.
wouldn't even be noticeable to anybody who wasn't looking for it.
Okay.
Essentially, what you've done there is a reverse Jesus.
Here's your wine. No.
I can turn wine into water, but why though?
So now, hopefully, we'll never suffer for water ever again. But also, to annoy people who want alcohol.
It's
I feel
basically
like
just
this is
like
targeted.
it's basically just like a purify food and water spell.
Yeah, I mean, technically, alcohol's a poison, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, or toxic. So, yeah.
Okay.
It's essentially a purify food and water spell, just in runic form. But for the memes.
Oh. I'll keep that cup as well, because then if I ever just need to
Well,
swoosh
exactly.
some water or something, turn it into water.
Someone gives you a poison, just like, you have to drink this. Ah, well, use my cup for no apparent reason. I just prefer to die with this cup.
You know what? Now I'm thinking I might be like, you know what? I'm never drinking out of anything else. Maybe.
Yeah.
Everyone
I'm a
has
genius by accident.
their flask,
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. And if it doesn't need to, basically, would I ever have to wash it if it's got a purifier spell on it?
Mhm.
Should it make everything at least neutral, drinkable?
It
Anyway.
makes everything drinkable.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, cool. I'll just be doing that, and I might have a little giggle to myself when I realise it works, and then, obviously, between keeping a good solid eye out, obviously.
Of course. Whoops. Roll a d20 for me, and add your perception modifier, because that's what the point of that is. Roll a perception check for me. Oh no.
Mhm.
Roll a d100 for me.
Ooh. Perfect split.
Okay. There's a brief moment, probably only about 20 minutes or so, where you doze off. This isn't like you at all.
Okay.
You finish your goblet, you have a walk around, you settle down again, just keep watch, and you just start snoozing. You have the weirdest dream. You're back in Ursa's lair, and no matter what you do, you can't seem to leave. The door you exited by previously just isn't there. There's the set of stairs you ran up, but there's no door at the end of it. The hole in the wall that you created is just bricked over completely. There's no hole for you to go back through. And as you look around, there's the fire giant just obliterating kobolds left and right. Dross is just shouting commands, and kobolds are still appearing from behind you where the hole should be. And ahead of you, on one of the massive piles of gold and loot, is an item that you can't quite make out. In this dream, it seems blurry and undefined. However, it draws you towards it, and in your dream-like state, you just glide towards it and pick it up. And it fills you with joy and happiness. You made it, you got it. You've avoided the fire giant and all the kobolds and picked up this item. And when you wake up from this dream and you're just holding Aqua. You're just like cuddled up to Aqua in front of you.
The real treasure is the friends we made along the way.
So I'm not holding anything. Okay. That's
Just
concerning.
Who knows what happened, man? You fell asleep.
Okay, but he's asleep as well, yeah?
Yes.
Good. I run away.
Was Echo asleep?
That's another question.
Wake up and Echo's traumatized.
He's just there. He's just there shaking. But yeah, you wake up. Nothing else seems to have happened. Nothing else has changed. You're just like cuddled up to Aqua. You kind of push yourself away, thinking, "That's weird." A little bit disappointed because, you know, the dream felt so real.
So the item, I don't know what the item was then.
No, it was you know in dreams when you sort of think you know something but you can't actually make it out because it's not really there. It's not really defined or anything.
Yeah,
it was like that.
Okay. And I guess they don't know I fell asleep, so it's alright. And I think no one got murdered or anything, no?
No one appears to be dead.
Successful watch.
Exactly. The sun rises, the three of you wake up, and it's time for the day. You sort yourselves out, you have your breakfast, you pack up your camp. Nella's dead.
Who?
Ooh, savage.
That's a deep cut.
It's been a while, so.
Yeah, I mean, 3 sessions and 2.
It's
Who's
like
that?
a month and a half, isn't it?
Yeah, so you start heading off. Sköld, roll a survival check for me, please.
Of course.
Of course.
I am the ultimate survivor. See? No doubt.
No
We've
doubt,
got
no
no
doubt.
exhaustion either.
And you're no longer exhausted. I did forget about the exhaustion, by the way.
I know you
But
did.
you genuinely rolled
minus
quite well
ones.
anyway, so it was fine. Yeah, this music is very triumphant. Congratulations.
Through a night.
Congratulations, guys. You didn't die in your sleep.
Hey, I got a hug from Vic that I don't know about. That's a triumph.
It's basically like your Travels to the Faerun.
Yeah.
Okay, so with a 24, you again manage to basically just about keep yourself going in the right direction. You've got a fairly good idea of where you're going, and you just keep yourself heading west for a long time. And again, the first half of the day passes without too much issue. We're doing the same as yesterday. Vic, then Aqua, then Vic.
Yeah.
Aqua, make a perception check for me. Okay. Everything seems calm, for the most part. just following on from yesterday, you're keeping a bit more of an eye on where a Sköld is taking you. So you're more aware of any kind of turning back on yourselves that's happening. And you're able to correct him. You say, Sköld, we're headed back towards a tree we just passed.
Look, I have one leg shorter than the other.
Are we through those trees and stuff? Are we not hitting the road already? So I was wondering if we're going to bump into other people as well.
Towards the second half of the day, you will make it out of the forest. It's because of the way you're traveling. You're basically traveling, like southwest. So you're curving back down. But we haven't got to the second half of the day yet. Sköld, make another survival check for me.
Okay.
And then...
Oh.
Nice.
Welcome to the gun show.
Yeah, you managed to just about make it out of the forest. Vic, roll a d20 for me. As you make it onto the road, I haven't got a road map. I feel like I should be changing the map, but I haven't got one for like traveling. I don't know.
You got that one? It's kind of the old one. The one that had that was moves.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I have that set on this world yet.
Oh yeah, of course.
Open. I'll see if I can find it while I'm talking. Once you make it onto the road, you almost immediately bump into sort of, I wouldn't say rough looking man, but there's certainly something about him that just seems a bit disheveled. And he's traveling in roughly the same direction as you are, but in a sort of more slow, hobbled way, where you can see there's a bit of a beaten up aspect of him. Seems to be not in a good way.
Okay, a dwarf, yeah.
No, human.
Oh. Okay. Hello. Which way is he walking? Would it be heading east or west? Or...
So if I do this, if I show you the map again, as you look at it, you're basically on. If you follow the curve from Kier Doral, you're on like the dot that lines up with it.
Okay, so north and south more.
North and south-ish, basically.
Yeah.
He's traveling north, up in that kind of direction. But like I said, human, unusual, and is just very hobbly. Because that's a word that makes sense. He's hobbly.
A bit like Sköld.
Yeah,
One
like
leg shorter than the other.
Yeah, apparently.
I'll just say hello.
Okay.
Hello, where are you headed?
He turns to you. Oh, I'm heading north. I'm trying to get away from volcano city on fire.
Yeah, makes sense. Do you live on this island?
No, visiting. My guides died. Not good. Very sad.
Do I believe? Do I believe what he's saying?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know.
Do I?
Do I believe?
Do I think that he's? Does he look like he's lying then?
It's somewhat difficult to tell due to just how beaten up he is, and like kind of, but
Yes.
he just seemed to be sort of shifting a little bit on his feet.
I mean, I'm not here to police the area. Just curious. Okay, so we're not gonna be heading that way. We're gonna go over the road and keep heading west, aren't we? I guess.
Ah, found it. But I just found the road.
Well, I mean, depends which direction we know the thing is in.
I'm just
I
gonna.
guess.
You know that it would be probably west.
Okay. I mean, there could be. Maybe this is a trail coming off the road heading west.
I didn't mean to close that. So from where you are right now,
Mm-hmm.
you probably you'd basically just need to keep heading west. It's somewhere almost directly west of Kirdarau, and if you just keep heading in that direction, you'll be heading in the right direction. And then it's just a case of finding the right area. This man is kind of keeping his distance as best he can. But I mean, in your experience, people who don't want to be pried upon, generally would act like this person. Where, they kind of keep their distance, they don't make eye contact. Shifting from foot to foot, that sort of thing.
Okay, so he's got to be a distance away from us now, yeah?
He's making distance, yeah.
Okay. Probably just say to the other guys, like, I mean, I don't think he's probably never had a guide or something. He's probably just not supposed to be here, but I don't know. Who cares, really?
Yeah, in this situation, don't think anyone's going to be checking. I think they're more going to be focusing on saving their own butts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably best to just leave it be. We've got bigger problems to take care of.
Oh, you
Yeah.
never said it.
Which way did you say we're going, Sköld? That way?
Yeah, just over here.
Okay. You continue to head off in the direction Sköld says. And with the roll you made, you're 25. You just keep heading west, basically, curving southward slightly. Eventually, you start to pick up elements of a sea breeze. You're definitely making it more and more to the coast. You've made good time. That sort of at 20 with a 25 is sped you along quite well. Throughout the hilly terrain and the kind of not quite desolation, but almost like it's the step before a desert, basically. They're more like dunes than hills, that sort of thing. You do eventually catch a glimpse of this, what looks to be the sea, or maybe just like an incrop, essentially. But no signs of Ambrynn's house right now. Arid, that's the word I'm looking for, thank you.
Okay. Has it been another 4 days of travel, or we got plenty of time left to crack on?
It's starting to get later in the day, but it's not the end of the day yet.
Okay. So, Aqua, when do you think, or do you think Nell's gonna from there?
I
I'll just
mean,
put it in this flask.
I assume she burnt up like a phoenix to be res like a phoenix.
I mean, maybe.
I
You
mean,
didn't
I'm
get all day
carrying
anyway.
her, so I assume with her magic and how unpredictable it is, we probably would only need like the main ash.
Hmm.
I don't know
But
what
what
that
if-
would count as, but
Mayonnaise. Maybe. But I mean, what if, like, for example, she is gone? She needs to
toss
be
her on the sea on the
buried.
way back to seeing the dragon lady, or the weird lady
Well,
that we think might be a dragon.
wouldn't you think like maybe like a burial instead, or spread her ashes somewhere like
No, she wanted to be
over
a
a bonfire?
pirate, probably on the sea.
Maybe, but she did like fire as well.
Okay, we'll put her on a boat and set the boat alight.
What we could do if we see a little rowboat or something.
I was thinking just the boat we finished traveling on. Just drop it down, leave the boat, turn around.
Tens of thousands of gold they're worth. Someone might come after us.
Just set it on fire. It's fine.
Lots of people on board.
It could be a final act of happiness for her.
But what if she's like stuck in like some kind of limbo at the moment and needs to have like some kind of burial rites? I mean, Sköld, what kind of like burial rites do you guys practice?
Oh, as you've seen in the catacombs, it's usually fairly straightforward. People of importance, they get their own bespoke tomb. People of less importance, well, they just get buried in their hometown usually.
But what if they don't get buried? Is there any like negative?
Well, yes, it's often considered, what's it, bad, not so much bad luck, but can have, unforeseen effects on the family that they leave behind, like a curse of sorts. It's considered proper to give them a good burial.
So maybe we should spread our ashes or something. Maybe tonight's camp. I mean,
No, I'm gonna hold on to them until we're on a boat and then spread them. She wanted to be a pirate, she can die the way the pirates die, in the sea.
okay.
Yep, all pirates
There's-
die in the sea.
Regardless of how they die, they
That's how
die in
I've
the
seen it.
Immortal on
Okay.
land, dead, like heavily vulnerable to the sea.
Yes.
Yeah, who knew they were all really allergic to water?
The irony.
Well, we're heading to the coast, aren't we? So I don't know if we'll find any boats because isn't wood quite a scarce resource?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
we might be lucky to find a boat, but I mean, could definitely put her in the sea, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see what happens. Whether or not we need her ashes for a bigger ritual. You never know. We might use her ashes as some ritual to slay the dragon.
Seems awfully convenient, if so.
This is why I have my 800 healing potions I've never used.
It all makes sense now.
Okay.
Yes, I would be in favour of just laying her to rest. And then I can do a proper
Well,
rite of passage, if you will.
I'm the one carrying her, and I'm not putting her down until I feel justified that she's not going to come back.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, there's water probably a couple of hours walk away. You could spread her now, or then, I guess.
I would hold on to her until I physically see water.
I mean, you can physically see water now.
That's not what I meant. I mean, touch water.
Here is a cup of water.
It's like, hey, would you like some wine? Okay, that's fine. Are you gonna keep sort of exploring for a while, or are you going to settle down for the night and look around tomorrow?
I think we would settle down when there's a bit more light and hopefully be able to point out some landmarks and such.
Okay.
To you guys, of course.
Yeah. Down to
Yeah.
rest.
So you settle down to rest again. Who is going first?
I want to go
I
last
can
this
go.
time.
I can go first.
I
Okay.
need the rest.
Aqua goes first. Aqua, what are you doing during
Yes.
your rest?
Well, I'm gonna wait till everyone else seems pretty fast asleep,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna put my canteen of Now's ashes and try and hide them on me, so the other party members are gonna struggle to find her if I fall asleep, and they try and bury her while I'm asleep.
Okay, I am. Dare I ask where?
Let me just check to see what actual tools I have to my disposal for this. I have rope still.
Yes.
I'm gonna tie her either to the canteen to my back or my stomach with the rope.
All right, okay. So you spend a few minutes just kind of wrapping the rope around your belly. Canteen
Yes.
kind of hidden down your lower back, tucked into your breeches, and then, kind of covered by the rope as best you can.
Respect knows no bounds.
Oh, that was a bit more sudden than I was expecting. And is there anything else you're doing? Or is it just...
No, once I've done that, I'll keep an eye out for anything with Echo's help. Yeah, again.
Okay.
That's it.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
You want me to roll my thing with Echo?
Yes, please.
Wow.
You are so concerned with making sure your canteen is hidden that you have no interest in what's going on around you.
No.
Yeah, your watch passes eventually. You feel fairly certain that your canteen is hidden.
Yeah.
And whom
I'm
do you wake
alive, so that's a win.
up? You're alive.
I will go and wake Sköld up.
Okay. How do you wake up Sköld?
I'm just gonna casually walk to him, sort of give him a nudge to say it's his turn and wake up, and then try and act as if I've got nothing attached to me and walk back to my bed,
Okay.
and then sleep face down.
Roll a performance check.
Oh, it's performance. Oh no.
Sköld, Aqua comes to wake you up. And there seems to be something weird about him. He's walking weird. His body seems a bit thicker than normal. Like he's walking a bit stiff. And then when he lies down, he just kind of face plants the floor. And you can see that he's wrapped rope around him. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm just gonna think it's Aqua being weird. As much as I probably think that he's doing something to stop us from getting a hold of Now's ashes, I had no intention of stealing it off of him. in the
Completely.
So yeah, I just think okay, and go on and start my my watch.
Okay. What do you do during your watch?
I suppose I will be mainly meditating to kind of
Meditating.
better clear the mind and
Okay.
just put all the unnecessary junk that has occurred out of my mind and focus on the goals. Focus on what matters.
Nice. Roll a constitution check for me. A concentration check, basically.
Oh, okay. Blimey. Where am I? Who am I? There I am.
Where am I? Who am I? Why am I?
Constitution, there you are. Ability check.
Okay. There's the soft and sometimes a bit more vigorous snoring of your compatriots does put you off occasionally, but eventually you do get into a nice sort of rhythm, deep breaths, blank mind, that sort of thing. And you get a good meditation going.
Okay.
Roll a perception check for me.
I'm really knocking it out of the park with these.
Nice. You're in such a state of zen that every little sound around you pick up. And for the most part, you're doing pretty well. Like, nothing seems overly threatening. Even after your meditation, like, you're properly on it. You're so switched on. And yeah, it's a nice quiet watch. I'd like you to roll a d20 for me. That's a lie. A d100 for me. 74.
2 lucky numbers.
Okay, roll 2d4 for me. Okay. Your watch passes with no drama.
Cool.
Time to wake up, Vic.
Okay. I shall do so. For some reason, I just had bloody. Who did that song? Another one where it's just like, wake up!
Oh, System of a Down.
I thought it was System of a Down, but what was it?
Just start screaming in Vic's ear. Just like, oh dear.
But no, I'll be mindful. I won't do that. Just wake them up normally.
I will start. We're in a tent, guys. I do set the tent up every rest.
I love the idea that you don't set the tent up until everyone else has gone to sleep and it's your watch.
No. Little canopy for some. Nah. So I'll start. I'll put my armor back on. Probably just peruse through the same book of runes I keep going through after I'm dressed.
Okay.
And what else would I do? Keep an eye out and maybe start making some form of breakfast if there's anything forageable, or using rations and forage stuff nearby.
Okay. Make a quick nature check for me. See if you can forage anything. It's a fairly unsuccessful foraging trip. But you kind of play it off as the rations in your bag are the forage. Just add a few sort of hidden things to change up the the taste.
We do have spices actually as well, though.
You do have spices, so you could add a few. You make breakfast and make a perception check as well, just for the rest of your watch. Nice. You read through your book of runes. You kind of pick up a bit more about the language of the runes, how they kind of have to balance each other to make themselves work, you know. It is, like you said, a language of balance. And just the more you read it, the more you read through the same book over and over again, the more you just start to just the more it clicks, the more you just think, oh, this rune could match with this rune to have this effect, but it would need to be countered by this rune, It just continues to make more sense to you the more you read. At the same time, your watch passes with no problems. It's quite a nice, calm, peaceful watch. Until sunrise, when you notice that Sköld doesn't wake up.
Oh god.
Doesn't wake up.
Mm.
Okay, I'll go over there and give him a kick.
Okay, give him a good solid kick to the gut. Nothing.
I'll look at Aqua. Aqua awake?
Aqua's awake.
Yeah, as I woke up, I wanted to carry on with my performance, and I'm going, wow, sleeping face down for the first time did really good for my back. I should do it more often.
Okay, that's great and all. That's fantastic and all. But why is did he drink?
No, he woke up fine when I woke him up. He got up, I went to bed. There was no difference. Why, is he not waking up?
No, look at this. And I'll try to pull him up by his beard.
Okay, you pull him up by his beard, like proper yanking, and surprisingly dense and heavy. But there's no response. He's just passed out, fast asleep.
See what I mean?
Yeah, maybe he needs a cold shower. Stand back.
I'll take several steps back.
And then I will use create water and just douse him wherever he is.
Okay.
I took steps back.
Yeah, you're not in this.
You absolutely drench Sköld. You just douse him in water. No response. Doesn't even flinch. Sputters a little bit. Doesn't flinch. But you can see he's breathing. His chest's moving up and down. And there's definite life in him. Just fast asleep. Aqua, roll an Arcana check.
Yes, that would be my logical next thing rather than doing other stuff.
It seems that Sköld's been magically to sleep. You kind of recognize the symptoms of the same thing the Guardian did to you and Sköld previously. Except this seems to be a bit more thorough. Aqua, roll a D100.
Yay. I will let, as this goes off, Vic know that I think he had been put to sleep the same way we got put when the Guardian Dwarf took us.
You got any magic to counteract that?
Unfortunately, no, not on me. That I know of.
As he is saying this to you, Vic, an eye just appears on his forehead, on Aqua's forehead.
I can actually have vision.
So he's now got 3 eyes, 1 in the forehead.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're on about. I've always had it. It's your mind's eye. I've just finally opened it to you.
Nick thinks, okay, One of us is probably dead. One of us is magically asleep. One of us has now got an extra eye. Is this the time we run away and leave them?
Is this the time I finally give up on this lot?
And I walk over to Aqua as they look at this, and I'll just get something reflective, like Sköld. Is Sköld's shield quite reflective? I don't think mine is. Maybe my sword,
I think
crystal.
Sköld's head's quite reflective.
Wait.
It's
I'll-
now
I'll-
shiny and wet.
I'll put my sword out because that's like crystal, so I guess there's probably some kind of reflection on
It's a
it.
bit of a reflection, yeah.
So look, that is not a normal eye. Does it hurt like a normal eye? And I'll poke it.
Roll a d4. Aqua, you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow!
Vic just pokes you in this eye that has manifested itself on your forehead. And yes, it hurts like an eye. It feels like an eye. It starts just kind of swelling up and leaking.
Did that hurt?
Yes. It is a part of me.
You've never had that before.
Yeah, I've never had a lot of things before. They just happen. They are all part of me. I'm becoming zen with my craziness.
Okay, well, let's worry about that later.
Yeah, it's not doing anything bad, and then I'm gonna look away and try and concentrate really hard to see if I can shoot a laser out my top eye.
It's a laser.
Okay.
Or lightning strike or something. Like a chaos bolt out my eyeball.
Okay.
Look away from me then.
Roll a d20. You do successfully cast Chaos Bolt.
Out my eyeball, at least.
No, just normally.
Oh.
But you managed to cast it off into a different direction. Doesn't really affect Vic, but yeah, you cast Chaos Bolt. You've used a spell slot.
Yeah. I will immediately use a source point to regain that spell slot. As I am disappointed it never shot out my head.
Roll a d8.
Oh yeah, what did I?
Poison. There's just a pool of poison on the floor. A piddly pool of poison.
How are we going to wake up magically Stephen Person? Is he just going to wake up by himself?
Well, I don't know. We kind of did once we got to our destination. Maybe he's waiting for a destination we need to take him to.
Aqua.
Maybe.
And Vic.
Yes.
The eye on Aqua's forehead disappears.
What does it do?
Disappears.
Okay, I missed it. I didn't hear the disappears part.
Sorry. The eye on Aqua's forehead. Nothing.
Okay. I won't even say anything. But okay, whatever. Well, isn't Ambrynn? Ambrynn was a healer of sorts as well, wasn't she? Trying to think back to what she was when we were in the cave.
I mean, I hope this isn't in your head because I haven't read the books because I can't read. So
No, but
It's all
when
on
we were
you.
fighting, I think. Ah. Well,
wait, I was a healer one, weren't I?
you were a.
That was a while
Paladin.
ago. Killing the dragon took everything else behind that away from me.
No, you were a cleric. He was a paladin. I don't know. Yeah, I think that was. I don't know. I think she was a healer.
Sköld was Ambrynn, who is a
Yeah.
Is
Paladin,
it
yeah.
because we're close to her that he fell asleep then? Maybe their minds are still linked.
Could be. Could be. Maybe she's asleep as well.
He's asleep.
Maybe we need to make them kiss like Sleeping Beauty.
I mean, you're magical. Maybe you can give him a kiss and see if that works.
No thanks.
It's on the forehead,
He's
nothing.
definitely not my
invasion.
type. I can
Okay.
always try a my amazingly loud clap, to wake him up?
I think if the water and the pain didn't do it, I think magical probably needs magical.
Sköld. While
Yes.
your friends are awake and discussing your random sleep, I nearly said wandom. It's spreading.
Random.
You are dreaming of a very colourful and unusual place, a familiar place, but different to what you experienced. Different in that where there would be sort of cliffs and hills, the ground kind of just loops up on itself and exists upside down. You've got trees that kind of meet, tipped like end to end because they're just sort of growing towards each other. The sun seems to fly off in colours. Just seems to
Radiate.
just radiates colour. And it just like almost like a disco ball. There are butterflies flying around that glow and emanate light and literally make noise as they fly as their wings flap. It's a happy place. Bit weird though. And it feels real, so real. You reach out and touch things and they've just kind of feel almost like jelly.
Interesting.
Could it possibly mean?
Yes. What is there around? Like any man-made structures, or is it completely sort of natural?
It looks like a sort of natural landscape. But the more you look around, you do see a hut.
Okay. I'll make my way towards said hut
Okay.
and see what's going on.
You walk towards the hut, and the ground gives way almost like it's spongy beneath you. And much like previous visits to the Fey Realm beforehand, where you've seen a target ahead of you that you've tried to walk towards, it just never seems to get closer. You walk towards this hut and keep walking, and eventually you find yourself going underneath the ground that comes back on itself. But the sun never seems to dim. It's just as bright here as it was before. And as you walk underneath the land, while still being above ground, the huts start getting closer and closer, and the surroundings seem to change from colourful and almost Candyland-like. The area turns more into a very deep green and brown bog swamp. You suddenly realise you're not walking on the spongy, mossy ground anymore. You're walking through sort of knee-high, swampy, boggy water that as soon as you realise you're walking through it, absolutely stinks. It just radiates this vile smell that just fills your nostrils. And you can see around you now that the ripples you're creating as you're walking seem to ripple back towards you. And you can see parallel, almost parallel steps being taken as you walk through it. And as you're sort of looking around, noticing these things, you look back forwards and the hut is right in front of you. It's made of wood that seems to be rotting and decaying. And there's moss and vines kind of all just splayed across it, up like spreading up the walls and down from the roof. You can smell from inside a very very enticing smell of cake.
Okay. Well, I can't deny the cake, so I will open the door to the cabin.
Okay, you push the door, and inside there, it seems fairly well furnished, kind of comfortable looking. But the first thing you notice is that everything's scaled at least 2 or 3 times bigger than you would expect in any normal place, even for humans or sort of bigger folk. Everything is just larger. Straight in front of you, there's 2 chairs that are placed underneath a table. That's to your right-hand side. On your left-hand side, there's just a wall of bookcases and shelves with books that are almost as tall as you are. And further straight across opposite you, there is almost like a kitchenette with an oven, sort of like stove in the center, and worktops and surfaces to the right and left. And there is a huge sort of 15 to 16 foot tall, like hunched over being that's seeing to something on the work surface to the right of the stove.
Okay. Say like hello.
Your voice echoes hollow through the house, through the hut. You say hello, and it comes out more like hello. Just dull, but then echoes ahead of you, and 2 or 3 seconds pass, and then the creature just sort of shivers and jolts and starts to turn its head in an eerily familiar way. And the face looking back at you is of a sort of two-tone aspect of the creature. The left-hand side, as it turns, is almost flawless and beautiful. But as it continues, the right-hand side becomes apparent and appears, and is of a very similar visage to Mavamwe.
So we meet again.
Hello. I didn't think I'd be seeing you so soon.
Nor did I.
We haven't met yet, but it's nice to finally meet you.
Well, maybe then you just look similar to someone.
Oh, I definitely do. I've heard a lot about you and your friends.
Could you perhaps be one of the other sisters?
Oh, you are very smart and perceptive. Yes. She was not the only one.
I didn't expect you to be twins or triplets.
Oh, how little you know, you fool.
Well, I suppose best cut to the chase. Why am I here?
I don't know. I wasn't expecting to see you so soon. I had plans to come and find you, but you came to me.
Well, I don't remember how I got here.
Ah. Well, life is full of happy accidents.
Suppose so. But if you were coming to find me, I suppose the question should be why.
Well, you see, you did have an altercation with my sister.
think you would find it was quite a reasonable altercation.
Oh, I don't know about that. If you say so, though. But now it's my turn,
Hmm.
and I see you.
Well, I suppose. What do you want?
Revenge is such a dirty word, but in this case I think it fits quite well.
You think you can do what your sister could not?
Yes. And the creature smiles, and the smile sort of spreads up the beautiful half of her face, going beyond her eyes, and the teeth just seem to continue with it. There just seems to be more and more and more. And the body turns, and you can like sort of stands to full height, and at full height, what looked like a sort of 14 to 15 foot tall creature maybe easily tops 20, 22 feet. Thin, gangly, no meat or bones to it, but just, pure height. And as she sort of stares down at you, you can see that the beautiful side of her face is just that, just half of her face. The rest of her body is aged, almost like a shriveled raisin. There are fingers that just seem to extend and extend and extend for an imperceptible distance. And they kind of start to reach out towards you. And the arms, like I said, like a shriveled raisin, they just start to extend, and the skin tightens and it goes taut on the arm. And the arm, basically, like you're standing 30 to 40 feet away, but the arm seems to almost graze your nose. And then there's a chuckle. Like I said, I see you. And then boops you, and you are awake.
I wake with a sort of a gasp, like waking up from a bad nightmare. Look around to see who's next to me.
At this point, you you wake up damp. It's been about an hour of just extra sleep on top of what you would have normally had. Aqua and Vic are just kind of pottering around, cleaning up the camp basically. And you are sort of lying in your, I guess in your bed, in your tent, absolutely soaked. But safe for the most part.
Okay, I have a few questions. Why am I wet?
Oh, you're finally awake then. You've been asleep for an hour or so now, more than the rest of us.
Yeah, we couldn't wake you up no matter what.
We tried all our tricks.
Yeah, well, okay, that explains something.
Why were you still asleep?
I had a dream or a vision, probably more accurate to describe it. I think we may have company from an old friend or relative thereof.
Meow's back.
Unfortunately not.
Oh,
You remember Movanway?
yes.
The hag.
I am the witch
Yes.
killer. Why would I forget that?
And you also remember that she had sisters?
2
And
more
the-
or something?
I can't remember the exact names, but it appears that one of them may be after us again. Or, yeah, we've got the attention of one of them anyway.
Okay, so we were the witch killers then.
Yes.
Well, I mean, look, the last one was tough, but that was a while back. I'm pretty sure we can handle another one. But wasn't that on a different? That was on the other island. That was.
Yeah, we had Now's weird help to get her to us rather than having to fight her in this mysterious realm you guys keep telling me about.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to. At the end of the day, if they want to attack us, they have to come and get us. You know, like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Let's just hope this one does something new and unique. I don't want to be fighting millions of minions again.
Well, it's best if we keep an eye out for anything peculiar, whether this vision is truthful or whether it's just a dream. Couldn't say for certain, but yeah, we could be in danger if she does show up at the wrong time.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't consider it much of a threat, but we'll see.
No. If they're all the same sort of power, then it shouldn't be a problem. However, though they are identical in looks, well, in the face anyway, they may have different abilities that could be more troublesome.
Yeah, I guess they could be more strong. Well, if they were to come and find us, then hopefully it's a opportune time for us. But that's not how it
Yes,
always
like
works.
next to some lava so we can push her in.
Maybe if we're lucky.
I'm sure it'll be
Right.
fine. It'll be fine, guys.
Okay. Right, I get out of the tent so I can pack it away.
Okay.
I did make some food, but there might be some left, Sköld.
Thanks.
Just like, cold food, my favorite.
Better than
Sleeping.
nothing, I suppose.
True. It's true. Okay. So you are now all eventually awake, and you get yourself sorted, ready for the day. And now you just need to find Ambrynn's house.
Yeah. Keep heading the same way, I guess.
Okay. You keep heading towards the coast. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. You continue walking. It's not difficult to find your way. Because there's water right in front of you, so you just keep heading towards the coast. Aqua, make a perception check for me.
Okay.
20. Eventually, you notice off in the distance, there's a bit of a... It's almost like the start of a river, or like a very small river before the actual coastline itself. This is one of the rare places where there are actually trees, like growing on this island. You see what looks like a very old and broken down shrine, and what also looks to be campfires and the site of potentially a battle of some form, recent. And you kind of just happen upon it.
Oh wow.
Ooh, okay, this is quite the map.
Recent battle.
Mm-hmm. Scattered around, there are sort of spears that have fallen into what looks to be a huge skeleton. Like Sköld, you would know that this is potentially somewhere where the dragon fell back in the day and just kind of got left. But ahead of that, there's also signs of a recent battle, you know, like the spears and just scuff marks and blood everywhere. And the campfires, while not necessarily lit, are smouldering.
Okay. I suggest we have a look around to see if there's anybody we can talk to, see what happened here.
Hmm. There might still be people with weapons. We should be careful.
Well, this could be an ambush. Be some kind of trap set up that they jump down on us somewhere.
I'll send Echo up above the battlefield and have a look through Echo's eyes to see if I can see anything.
All right. You can see. Well, Echo can see. Two people on the other side of this monument here
Ooh.
that are seemingly scavenging. I mean, you can't see it right now, I don't think. Or you might be able to, but
No, I personally can't.
okay, well, they're like over here.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of rooting round, and they don't look to be in any particularly bad shape. However, they appear to be investigating, potentially have come across this too, just like you have.
Okay. Well, when done with that, I will inform Sköld and Vic that there are what seems to be two people that look pretty unharmed, and they look like they're scavenging this area.
One of them, you now realise, looks very familiar.
Oh.
A little halfling fellow.
Guys, we may want to get ready for a fight if he doesn't want to talk to us, but that little dude we rescued, it's him and someone else.
Wow.
Oh.
And now you get
Be
to
an
remember his
issue.
name.
Yep. I can find it.
Let me just go to my page. What was it? No, probably not that.
Better than this. Ruken.
Ruken, there we go. You can see
Yes.
Ruken with his his signature orange coat, just kind of milling around, looking through some of the wreckages. A few corpses that look, from what you can see from Echo, they look almost either goblinoid or potentially koboldish, something like that. It's difficult to tell. And they're kind of he's kind of rooting around, and there's a sort of slightly older dwarven lady with him that is half-heartedly looking through the wreckage too. She seems to be a bit distracted and wandering off on her own a little bit. And then when he notices, he kind of looks up and just sort of, and runs over. And then when he comes into the monument wreckage, he looks up and sees the three of you and kind of freezes for a moment, almost looking confused.
Well, the last thing we did, we helped this. Well, it wasn't my choice, but we helped this person escape. I mean, try to jump and attack us yet, despite seeing us. So shall we maintain pleasantries?
Best we do, and maybe he can help us. Don't know in what exactly, but he might have some information.
I'm gonna put one hand up in the air as like a kind of greeting.
All right. He kind of has a very distinct look of confusion on his face. He looks to his friend, looks back at you, raises his hand again, and then just shakes his head a little bit, and sort of slowly walks over to you.
Okay. Be on guard, but
So we meet again.
Yeah, we do.
How's your freedom?
It's going well. It's going well. I thought you were dead.
Why?
Well, just seemed like the obvious option. Considering. How are you?
Been better.
Yeah.
All right.
As you see, there's not 4 of us at the moment.
No. No, I kind of knew that. What are you doing
How?
here?
We're heading west, away from the volcano and such.
Right.
What do you mean you know? How did you know? And why are you so convinced we're dead?
Very confused. Very confused. Well, I don't know.
Say it
Yeah.
like it is.
I don't really know what to think, to be honest. So you're alive. Where have you been?
Mining.
Well, we're tasked to clear out the underground bunker for the leader. I've forgotten what's his title. Gonna go with King, but
Steelbrow.
yeah, I know who it is. But yeah, turns out may have been off more than we can chew, and through a series of events, we've ended up outside and on our way back.
Right. So you're not dead then?
No. But did someone say we were?
No. I just assumed.
It's an odd thing to assume.
Is everyone dead in Kirdaral or something?
I don't know. I've not been. I left Lindoff and was looking for. You can see he's unsure about whether to explain himself properly, but eventually he kind of shakes his head. Yeah, I left Lindoff and was looking for a way to potentially empty the lair, see what I could take. I heard about someone who lived up here and potentially help me. Met my friend Gwen here along the way. We struck up a partnership, stumbled across this place. Yeah, a bit weird. Strange to see you here.
You're not being very clear.
Well, I'm not entirely sure what to think, to be honest.
Okay. So, last we know, we left you with the means to escape and carry on with whatever you wanted to do.
Which I did.
Yeah, which is, you're welcome.
Thanks.
But I don't understand how we got from that point to then you just assuming we're dead. Do you know of someone that's after us? And assume they got us? Did you think we were in the way of the volcano or something?
Well, I mean, the volcano was pretty rough. I mean, I can literally see it from here. It's not great. I don't know what to tell you. I just made an assumption. I shouldn't have done that. I'm glad you're alive.
Right.
Oh, Rukin, glad you're alive too. Good to see you again.
Well, we
What
didn't
I-
have any
What I assume you're thinking right now.
any doubt that you would make your way out. I would have thought you would at least thanked us for the opportunity.
I was just waiting for the right time, right opportunity.
Anyway, we've got things we need to do. We need to find out what to do next, essentially. With everything going on, it seems to be a bit of a mess.
Where is
Time is against us.
Where is your friend? Do you know?
Well, she may or may not be deceased.
Starting to lean towards deceased now.
Nope,
She's
she has unearthed power we know nothing about. She'll be back.
She's inside his flasks in a pile of ashes, pretty much.
The plot thickens. So this is my friend Gwen. She's a dwarf, a bit quiet, doesn't talk much. Yeah, well, sorry to hear about your friend.
Yeah, I mean, if it was another time, I'm sure we'd sit and chat. But, yeah, as I said, got things to be doing. You wouldn't, by any chance, know if anything's happened since the volcano's erupted? Anything outside the ordinary?
Well, aside from the volcano, no, not really. Stumbled across this place, which maybe
What
by
happened here?
surprise. I don't really know. Some kind of fight. I think kobolds were involved.
And there's no bodies around or anything there.
There are a few, more towards where Rukin came from. There are a few small kobold, deceased kobolds, just kind of existing. However, they're not plentiful. Nothing that would create this much blood and gore.
Okay. What's your best guess that what happened here then?
These kobolds came out of nowhere, I guess, or somewhere, and something got them. But the tracks lead into the water. It's pretty weird.
Into the water, you say? I'm gonna go have a look.
Oh dear.
Be careful, remember.
And I'll
Yeah,
go
on
to
our
the edge
way
of the
here.
water. I'll kinda go like kneel down and then stick my head under the water to have a look.
All right.
I'm assuming I can see underwater.
I mean, feel free.
Yes.
Don't forget the massive giant turtle thing that attacked our ship on the way here.
That's not gonna be in this bit of water.
I mean, did this go? It's just a river, is this?
Yeah, it's seemingly fairly shallow.
Okay, fair enough.
Where are you moving towards the water?
Oh, my game's paused.
Oh, is
I
it?
thought you knew. Yeah, it's been paused the whole day.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
literally unpaused it.
Wow.
As you step towards the water and duck your head in, the water goes a lot deeper than you thought.
Ooh.
Make a perception check. While you're looking under there, you see it's a bit murky. Your dark vision does help you somewhat, but you don't have dark vision, so it doesn't.
Yeah, I know.
Your lack of dark vision obscures your sight somewhat. While you're doing that, Gwen the dwarf comes over to you, Sköld, and just kind of starts looking at you inquisitively, and just kind of pokes your cheek.
May I help you?
Doesn't respond. Make an insight check.
Boop, boop.
Awfully familiar. Look on the face.
Hmm.
And then it kind of hits you. As you're looking at the face, you recognize the eyes.
Hi. So yeah, Gwen has been poking your face a little bit, seeing something familiar in you, just looking at you. Oh, what's your name?
Sköld. Have we met before?
She stops dead in her tracks and looks at you, and then she looks at Rukin, confused, her eyes a little bit wide, and doesn't say anything.
He kind of stares at you, and just stares at both of you, and just says, "This is why I was confused." And as he's talking, the form of the sort of middle-aged-ish dwarf shifts and becomes now. In that moment, Aqua,
Yes.
while you're looking underwater, before you really have chance to kind of see what's coming, an almost beak-like structure, or beak-like entity comes shooting out of the water and aims for your head
Can I try and dodge it?
You can try. Mainly
Uh,
because I have to roll to hit.
What would it be?
Does 25 hit you?
Yes.
You do not get out of the way in time. And you take 17 points of piercing damage and are
Right.
dragged underwater.
Great.
There
There you go.
Oh no.
Which direction are you looking?
Probably at the newly appeared Nell.
Yes.
Aqua, nobody's realised you are now underwater.
Would I have not heard the splash?
This
maybe.
was efficient. This was just sort of like a gone, almost barely a ripple. But you have Nell, your fallen comrade, friend, ally, who's just turned from a dwarf into herself, but in different clothes than you remember, and seems almost younger, potentially, maybe. And with that, we'll go for a quick break.
Oh god.
And we'll be back in a few minutes. And we'll see what happens.
Oh blimey.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Aqua, you have just
Yes.
been dragged underwater by an unknown creature.
No.
Now, you have just reappeared in front of your friends. Friends of Nell, other than Aqua, who doesn't know. Nell has just reappeared fully formed and in the flesh in front of you, with Ruken, once enemy, now acquaintance, in tow.
Okay, I have many questions. How? Be the first.
I could ask the same question. She looks over at Vic and just sort of squints her eyes, and then looks at Ruken again, looks back at Vic, looks back at Ruken, looks back at Vic. Are you Aqua?
No. That's the one over there in the water.
Meanwhile, Aqua, you take 8 points of acid damage as you are, not acid damage, piercing damage as you are just being like flung around like a dog with a toy underwater.
Yeah, I can't put that on my character sheet because my thing's gone missing.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I can just bring that up. Do it this way.
Vic, as you point towards where Aqua was, he's now gone. You can just about see ripples on the surface of the water that are kind of a bit crazy.
You might want to help him, she says, and then she steps over to Ruken, staying like 2 steps behind Ruken.
Yeah, Sköld? Has he gone swimming or a little bit?
I didn't see him.
Quick question: as this is happening, because it's innate now, can that second thrashing have set my tides of chaos off?
Yeah, sure. Roll a d100 for me.
Okay, let's do that. Just so that's off.
While this is all happening, and they are sort of, realizing what's happening to Aqua, Nell is turning back into Gwen.
Aqua,
Yes.
you have cast confusion on yourself.
Great.
Great.
I can't even see a confused status effect. So we're going to go with I don't know, charmed, I guess.
Oh, I don't know. I was gonna say, is my picture still there? Because for me, it's gone.
Oh, I know. I've made you
When it went
invisible because you're
underwater.
underwater.
Nah, that's fair.
Nell has turned back into Gwen. So let's remove that. Let's actually remove that too. Let's do this. Make you there. And as you all sort of turn, Nell shrinks back into Gwen. Vic, being closest, you see objects under the water surface start to break the surface, and 3 sort of reptilian-ish heads start appearing with essentially just like beaks at the end of their mouths that equate to 15-foot long necks with fins on the top, eyes that are just pure yellow, teeth seem to have folded into the mouth, and a tongue that's just kind of like splaying out as the 3 of them just start thrashing around and screaming. A fourth one emerges, holding Aqua, just flailing him around. And you are also grappled, Aqua. And not that one. That one. Wait. What? Grappled. Thank you. And then a 5th one emerges, slightly bigger in the middle. All of them, apart from the one holding Aqua, are just screaming and bellowing loud. I need everybody to roll initiative for me, please.
Looks like questions can wait until later.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. One day, I'm going to roll good initiative. But it is not this day.
Today.
Boop. Boop. It seems quite quiet. Alrighty then, Victor.
Right.
So far, all you can see are the 5 sort of 15-foot long necks with heads on the end, just screaming. Flailing around and acting erratically.
And Aqua's
Grappled
caught
by
in
one of them. Yeah.
If I was to move to like,
This is an amusement ride.
if I can get to here, it have to be like waist deep in water or something. Can I try to chop the one that's holding Aqua?
You are teetering at this point on the edge of where it stops being shallow and starts being deep. There's just an immediate drop.
I will gain height.
Gain height and size. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll gain height, so I'm not too far in the water. Hopefully,
Okay.
not as much. And yeah, I'll swing at the one holding Aqua. Hopefully.
Alrighty then. Make an attack roll for me.
Uh-huh.
That definitely hits. So roll for damage, please.
Damage.
13. Nice.
What did
nice.
we do on big damage?
At that
I'm
one.
big and
16. Nice.
okay. So I could chop down, try to do it, and then I'm gonna rear back and try to go for another one. Try to sever the neck if I can.
Okay. That one hits as well. 17. Nice. That's what, 16 plus 17? That's 32. Okay.
33.
33. Alright, you manage to swipe down and you catch the neck, but your sword bounces. It manages to catch into some of the flesh, which just seems to be kind of solid scale, essentially. But is stopped from cutting straight through by just chunks of just what seemed to be iron. It's unusual. It catches you by surprise.
Okay. That'll probably be me. I could action surge, but I won't. I will hold off, and then I'll just Shield's still out. That was one-handed attacks. Just trying to chop through and just going to shout at everyone to try to help.
All right. Please hold. Aqua, make us. No, it manages to keep hold of you. I'm sorry.
Whee!
Okay. Gwenelia.
I'm going to roll with Nell because the Gwen character, she doesn't have the right spells on it.
This is the one you gave me.
I know, but I realized it doesn't have the right spells on it.
Okay.
It's only 2 or 3 spells, that's fine. I am going to move. Where did I go? There. Nope. And I'm going to cast magic missile at 3rd level, which means I have 5.
4 times 20.
So it's 20 points of damage. And I'm going to quicken that spell with 2 of my sorcery points. And I'm going to send an Eldritch Blast after it as well.
Okay, roll to hit.
Some of these aren't correct. I'll look at it afterwards. Oh well. I'm back, guys.
Roll damage.
Oh, God.
No.
Okay, Aqua, you take 5 points of force damage.
Knock me out the grapple though, because it's force.
Fair. Yeah.
Damn.
You fall 20
Woohoo!
feet
Yeah.
and take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as you crash into the water below you. You're still confused, but you're no longer grappled.
Right.
Failed successfully.
I assume I'm like, I can't move myself.
It's not your turn yet.
Oh.
Is that your turn, Cornelia?
Yeah, because I used an action, a bonus action, and yeah, that's my turn. I don't have a combat tracker turn. My turn.
You just should do. Never mind, Sköld.
Okay, let me just do a couple of bits of math.
Quick maths.
20 feet. Okay, cool. We are currently quite far away. Actually, no, we're not. Ah, okay, cool. I'm going to get a bit closer anyway, just to give myself a bit of wiggle room. So let's say 25. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we'll go a bit more about there, maybe. Hey, you know what? I'm going to be brave. There we are.
Yes, our tank standing behind everyone and be brave.
Oh no, that's a bit too brave. Is that 50 feet? 30 feet. Sorry. Yeah. Good.
It's a bit too. I was going to say that's a bit too brave, considering that's more than your movement speed.
Yeah. And what I'm going to do is, where's my spells? There it is. Okay, Searing Smite, and I've been umming and ahhing about this for a bit, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say Searing Smite at a 3rd level.
All right.
So roll you, 3rd level, please. Oh, it's not gonna roll yet, just cast it. Boop. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is then I'm gonna throw my hammer. That's,
Throw me hammer.
Boy.
Okay.
So, and it didn't. God damn it. Can't just roll to hit.
What's your... Yeah, just... I'll move you here quickly. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. That's, there we go. Normal. Oh, actually, would it be with advantage? Don't know.
No.
Okay.
That definitely hits, though.
Cool, and it's a giant.
It's not. It's a monstrosity.
Damn. It's worth a try.
It's a gargantuan monstrosity.
Okay. I'll roll my damage then. So there's 5 there, and then I gotta roll my damage for the Shearing Smite.
The Shearing Smite. Another 11. Nice. 22.
There we go. And I think you have to do a Constitution, which does something.
Constitution save, you say?
Oh, Christ, lost what it does.
Well, 17.
You won anyway, so.
Let's start with...
Okay.
Yeah, it would just set it on fire. Just sets it on fire. That's fine. All right.
Okay. I think I do have bonus actions, but I can't do another spell, so that kind of. Can I kind of just ready myself for retaliation, or is that going to be also an action?
Technically, be an action. You can kind of flavorfully ready yourself for an action or retaliation.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do that. I realized Ruken doesn't have a weapon.
Yeah, he gave everything to us.
Well, not everything. Oh, cool.
Don't you have that ring of invisibility?
He does. We gave that back to him.
He sprints over at lightning speed, his little feet on the sand. And he makes a attack with his little dagger. Boom. And hits. Ha-ha! I am the greatest. Does 9 points of piercing damage. Oh yeah. And then he makes another attack with his little dagger. Ah, hits again. Damage. Amazing. Another 9 points. Clearly, I'm the best D&D player ever. That's his turn.
He's gonna do it again. He's gonna kill his own creature.
Aqua. Roll a wisdom check for me.
Wisdom check. I'm gonna use my Tides of Chaos for the advantage on this.
You still fail. So you are still confused.
Yeah.
You have your turn. But, you know, the great big 5-headed creature might not be your first target.
Well, my first reaction to any fight, no matter whether who it is, the magic armor, so that's gonna get palm. So
Drowned.
Well, I think he's the one person who can't drown, so...
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so true.
I am the one that could survive that.
Good job. Keep me distracted.
And then, as I actually can't do anything else, I'm just gonna walk away.
You're gonna walk away.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I approve. You take. Oh, I need you to move back. Sorry.
No, I've gone. It doesn't count.
Take a bite attack. Aqua.
Wow.
Oh,
You take 36 points of piercing damage.
Oh, goodbye.
no!
I'm unconscious.
Okay. You sort of turn to walk away in your confused state, and one of the heads, a different one to the one that grabbed you before, just swoops down and engulfs you in its beak-like mouth, and then makes to start swallowing you.
What?
Which, now that it's its turn, it tries to do, and you are now being swallowed.
Right.
Jesus.
Since you are gone, it's now going to focus this attack on Vic. Come on, really? It's going to focus another attack on Vic with... Oh my god.
That's going to have a heads off, yeah.
It vomits Aqua back out.
28. Yes.
It's
So the head that swallowed Aqua comes down, and you just duck out of the way. The second one next to it comes down, and you just parry it away with his shield, like not even an issue. The third one comes down and catches you in your midriff while you're parrying the second one away, and does 25 points of piercing damage. Make a strength saving throw for me.
Is that regular? Because that'd be halved if it's regular.
It's difficult. It's a difficult one. I'm going to say no because of something else it has that you don't know about yet.
That's not magical.
It is magical.
Oh,
As in,
okay.
no, you don't get resistance to it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. And applied. And was it a strength
saving throw, please?
I get advantage because I'm big.
You do, and you are fine. Bite numero 4. 28. Boom. You take another 19 points of piercing damage. Make another strength save for me. And again, you're fine. And then attack. Normal. 13. Misses. Okay. Whoops. That is... you know what? Even... It's actually going to move this way. And Rugen will get an attack on it. Where's his character sheet? There it is. Pew! 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 And hit! Hooray! I don't hit very often. It's a celebration when I do. And 6 more damage.
Especially when you hit yourself.
And then it's going to step this way. And as it steps out of the water, you can see that there's a torso that just has, obviously, it's basically a 4-legged creature, and the heads just seem to sprout from the belly, and the individual necks start very early on. What started as 15 feet long necks turn 20-25 feet long, and they're just spreading out all over the place. Their reach seems to be just unnaturally far. We come back around to Vic.
Okay. Well, now it's moved, I feel like I'd at least walk out of the water, probably. Stay within its reach. Okay, I'll probably use my bonus action to second wind.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Apply that bit of healing.
Okay.
Okay. 3 then. I guess I'll just. Yeah, I guess I'll start swinging now. I can't really reach the necks as well, I guess, anymore. So I'm just gonna go for the body, considering the heads are really up in the air.
You can reach the necks just by sheer your size and the fact that they start so early on the torso.
Okay.
So you can still reach the one that you were hacking at before. You'd have to start kind of a new slice, you know. But
would I know anything about hydras? I don't think I would have ever.
no,
seen
they're
one
very
or-
kind of mythical and what's the word? Enigmatic.
Okay, I'll try to. If I can still reach the neck of the one I was hitting before,
Okay.
I will hit that one.
Sure. Roll for an attack. That hits.
Okay, damage should have a +6 on it, but I thought it might do automatically. It didn't. So there's the 6 as well.
21. Okay.
Okay, and that neck's still like I haven't managed to chop it off. And am I able to looking like I could chop it off?
This time you do manage to make good solid contact, but the neck is still in place because you had to start again lower down this time.
Of course, yeah.
Didn't have quite the same effect. And as you strike it, the wound that you made previously just oozes like an acidic kind of blood, and you take 10 points of acid damage. Actually, so does Sköld, just from the sheer proximity. You both take 10 points of acid damage. As Vic swings and makes contact, the previous wound that he made just like sprays, and the head kind of reels back in a kind of nearly headless Nick kind of way.
Okay.
Roll again. I presume you've got another attack.
I do. Thinking if I want to keep swinging this neck, if it's gonna like hit in this one neck, it's gonna make the whole thing a bit acid on me. That's a bit. Well.
Fine,
Let's
that's
do
what hit
it.
points are for.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 26 hits. 15. So that was what, 21 plus 15? Okay. This time you manage to hit the same spot again, and your sword just cleaves through the lower part of the neck. This part of the neck seems less defended by just chunks of iron, and you cleave the whole thing just straight off. The now lifeless and limp head just flops to the floor, kind of flaps around a little bit, and then just kind of falls lifeless. You do again both take 8 points of acid damage this time.
Okay, and that was the acid damage from the one falling.
Yeah,
Or
basically
just hitting this thing?
when you hit it and drew blood, it just kind of spews out.
Okay. To be action surge anyway. I feel like we're gonna have to action surge. How much health I got left? Nah, I'm okay.
Your loads.
The action surge then, but I'm instead of going probably for another neck, I think I might just go for the where I've chopped it off close to the base of the thing. I'm just gonna like stab into it.
Okay.
Trying to get through because like I'm hoping its hide would be less because it's I'm going straight into like a flesh wound kind of thing. Why
Okay.
not?
Why not indeed? That definitely does hit.
Get some lucky high rolls at least.
12. All right. You definitely stab down into like more flesh, less scaly kind of parts of its body. It rides around, and you get the impression it's kind of like the feeling when you just had a tooth out and your gum feels all weird. That's probably what it feels like, I imagine. And yeah, it body rides around and you did damage.
Okay. I guess I'll go for it again, or maybe while it's inside there, I'm just gonna like kind of slash remove it as like a second hit.
Okay.
As I go. As my fourth attack because of action surge. That's not as good though.
That misses.
Okay. Done my healing already. Okay. And like me hitting them didn't like get Aqua shot out of it or anything.
Oh, good point.
I wasn't know if I had to hit a specific head or just to damage the actual thing or not. But I should have probably thought about swinging for the head there. Swallowed him.
No, Aqua is still swallowed.
Okay. Okay. Might move around a little bit more because I need a little bit just to stay a bit further out of the water, I think.
Okay.
And that would be me done.
Alrighty. Gwenelia.
All right. Nell/Gwen is standing there, still taken aback by the brief interaction she has had with the people that she thought were dead and that she has no recollection of. And then she sees one of them getting swallowed, and she's torn between running away and helping them, but something makes her help and stay there. And she just looks at this giant creature, and then she just shouts at the top of her lungs, "Regurgitate!"
Okay. Okay. All right.
No, is it? It's not a wisdom.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Literally
Yeah,
says.
Yeah, sorry, I read another spell that was a Constitution saving throw.
I pressed the button that said wisdom. The creature just starts like retching. Nothing happens, but yet. But all four remaining heads just start
Okay.
kind of, retching.
Oh look, which one am I going to come out of?
I'm going to quicken that spell again. I have 2 sorcery points left. And I'm going to cast... I'm going to cast Infestation on one of the heads, the one that's closest to me, and make a cloud of... Let's say I make a cloud of sort of flies appear that are very annoying. That's the Constitution saving throw. Or you take 2d6 poison damage.
Wow. Okay. How is that? Okay. 2d6 poison, you say?
Yeah.
That looks to me
Wait, what
like a
did I-
d20.
What did I roll? When did I roll that?
It's your own saving throw.
Yeah, there we go. That's 6 points of poison damage, and you must move in a random direction that I determine. You move 5 feet south, but you don't provoke opportunity attacks.
All right.
Okay, that's my turn.
Cool. Sköld.
Yeah, me, sorry. Okay, I've got a couple of questions.
Couple of questions.
If I use healing word, am I able to do it on Aqua, even though he's currently swallowed?
You have to be able to see him.
Damn. Second question. It's called an iron hide or iron scale hydra. Does it literally have iron in its scales, or is it figuratively?
No, you've seen Vic strike it, and they're not necessarily iron scales, but there are just chunks embedded in its scales essentially. So it's got almost like it's laid down in blocks of iron, or just had them embedded in it themselves, like unnaturally, kind of giving the impression of iron scales.
Okay. So further to that, if I use heat metal, would that do anything?
As long as you aimed specifically for iron.
That I do.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it at a 4th level.
4th level.
Going all in, baby.
You're doing.
He's gonna cook Aqua like an oven.
All right.
Okay.
So you're kind of, you spend the rest of your round kind of eyeing up spots on its body specifically for like an iron block that you could grab hold of, and you reach up, you manage to just about grab hold of a part, and the heat phases out of your hand into the body, and the creature just screams like a very pained shriek, and you can just see that one chunk of iron start glowing red, and the whole body just starts to char slightly. Aqua,
Yes.
do you take 3 points of heat damage?
He's already unconscious.
He's already unconscious. You
It does
fail one
nothing.
death save.
Oh, what?
I mean, worth it, I think.
From the healer. That hurts.
Literally.
He rolls a 1 now. That's him gone as well.
Hold on. I'm thinking. Would it be unwise for me to jump down one of the throats and try and
Yes.
find?
Yes.
Yes.
Men in Black it.
Okay, then in that case, I end my turn.
Damn it.
All right. Rukin is going to come back onto as close to the ground as possible, so he's not basically waist deep in water. He's going to just hit, and with his little dagger, he's going to do 6 points of piercing damage, and then he's going to do that again. You go. Come back. Boop. Boop. Ooh, 28. He's going to do another 9 points of damage. Ooh, big numbers. And then he's going to bonus action disengage and run away. Aqua,
Yes.
roll a death saving throw for me. It's another fail. You have 2 fails.
Yep.
That's your turn. The Hydra still retching. Just and just yeets Aqua out onto Vic. Vic, make a dexterity check for me. Aqua just gets chucked up out of one of the Hydra's heads, and instinctively you just reach out your arms and you catch him, cradling him in your arms.
Okay.
That is the Hydra's turn. It's now your turn, Vic.
Yeah, I like hidden things. Wait, Sköld. I'd like Sköld. Can you help? Wait, how much health have I got? If I lay Aqua down, that's just not. Would that be an action, or can I just lay him down and?
I mean, I could be mean and say you'd have to drop him. But nah, you can put him down, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm not
I'll
that cruel.
I'll just quickly say, Sköld, do you have the means? If not, I can potion.
I have the means.
Gwen can do. Okay.
I have the means.
I will place Aqua down, like behind me, and then go. Yeah, jumping in. Could I wait? When I chopped a head off and like acid came out, how far did it go?
Oh,
Like-
it's just a splash radius. Like a sort of 5-foot splash radius.
Okay, so could I just make sure Aqua's not in that kind of like range
Yeah.
I saw?
He's fine. If I move him here,
Okay.
he's fine.
Okay, I left him behind me. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna swing at this one,
Swing, swing, swing.
hoping that the other two could do some healing, bring Aqua up, because I know that I know they're the next two, so it should be okay. So,
Nice.
oh, we wanted that. We wanted that. We know I'm gonna throw my fire in on this one as well now, but
Of course. You're aiming for a neck, right?
I was going for I was gonna go for the main thing. I was just didn't know if I would splash no matter what I did. But I was gonna kind of work on the same like hole that I worked on a minute ago.
In this case, I
That's
would
possible.
recommend going for a neck.
Okay. I'll go for a neck as well then. So it'll be plus 1d6. I'll roll that afterwards. So my might bonus is a dice roll, so that'd be an extra d6, wouldn't it, for the crit?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just roll the crit normally, and then I'll add.
Okay. So you've got
Okay,
your
then
2d6 and 2d8, isn't it?
that's for the the sword itself, and then instead of 1d6. Wow, it's still probably lower than it could have been. Okay, so 25 from the crit, but I'm going to throw on a fire rune on the Hydra as well.
Yeah, that gets double too.
Yeah, so I'll just crit hit that.
Okay, so that's 37. No, it's not.
You need to
30
do a saving throw?
It is maths. 39. Bloody hell. I do, yeah. I'm
39.
just fails.
That's lucky. Okay, so now you should be restrained, in which case I could apply effects now.
There is
There we go.
another thing it is, which is
Too big to.
the Edda.
Oh,
Vic,
Oh, wow.
describe your kill for me.
I kind of want to see it because it was the 17 dex check. It wasn't too bad. After Aqua gets spat through the air at me, I'd like to kind of like grab and spin, put him down, then like look at like Sköld and be like, "Can you heal?" Then I hear like the new person Gwen/Nell. I don't know what's going on there. Say, I can do it. I'm like, okay, I think you're trustworthy, and then I just rush off. And then for one big swing, like invoke the fire runes as a hit, which is like the fiery chains that come out of like, I guess it'd be my sword, 'cause I think that's what the runes etched on. Which just like chain around the whole thing, and I was like, I want to see like those chains spinning around each of the Hydra's necks, flare, and just like tightening and tightening, and just like burning and cutting into the necks.
Yeah, that's what happens. The chains just start constricting as the the fire runes just burn through the scales and then the flesh. Everybody kind of gets overwhelmed by the smell of burning Hydra flesh. But as you just pull your sword down one last time and the chains follow, the last remaining 3 heads that didn't go with your fire rune, or with your first swing, sorry, just get decapitated and the Hydra falls dead.
I still don't know it's called what a Hydra is, I guess, but
No.
This could be good meat.
I want to do something quickly before initiative is over. Nell/Gwen has already said that she can help, and as the Hydra falls dead, she already has the spell ready. So she's very confused, and she desperately wants to help Aqua. So the spell that she still unleashes the spell that she had ready already, and Vic starts to sort of give off a slightly fiery glow, and you feel a really horrible pain in your chest, and you have to make a Constitution saving throw. Yeah, you make it, so you only take 1d6 damage. You take 3 points of necrotic damage, and as you glow and you feel this pain in your chest, then a second later, Aqua starts to glow in this sort of fiery glow as well, and he feels really, really warm, and you get 3 points of healing, with 3 hit points back. Aqua.
And as you do that,
look around.
Vic just falls to the floor because he only had 3 hit points left.
Well, that's too bad.
Joking, he doesn't do that.
I'll probably just look at what happened, work out what happened, then just huff worthy. It was worth it. And then I'll go and check on Aqua.
Alright. Alrighty then.
I'll check on that.
Okay, he is no longer confused.
Am I not? I would assume so. I was.
Well, not magically confused anyway. You are conscious, you are in pain, and you have your friends and Gwen around you.
I sit up in so much agony. I'm like, guys, I pull Branch by my back. I'm sorry, I've lost now, and then hold the canteen, which is broken and scattered everywhere. Like that creature, I couldn't hold on.
I think we may have found it.
What, you gathered it up while I was out cold?
Well, not exactly. This new person, Gwen, seems to bear an uncanny resemblance.
Gwen/Nell turns back into Nell herself.
How do we know it's not someone turning into Nell?
Wait. Am I still confused? Am I asleep still?
This is happening.
Are we having a collective dream?
Don't know if that's a thing.
Is that really you now?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm me. I don't know who you guys are, but I'm me.
Don't know who we are.
I've heard of you. Apparently, you're a group called the Negotiators or something?
Navigators.
Close enough. I never get it right.
Okay.
But you were one of us.
I see, and she looks pleadingly and looking for help at Ruken.
Ruken kind of looks back equally as confused.
I mean, the only way we actually know Rukun is because you went into his head and he got angry with us.
Did happen.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
What do you mean? You have no idea what's going on?
She just appeared to me a few weeks ago. Naked, confused, didn't know what was going on. Weeks.
I was supposed to be on a ship, and then I wasn't, and I was in this town. It was
Wait.
cold.
Do you not remember being invaded by pirates?
What are pirates?
Her memory has gone back before the boat trip, guys.
Well, more than that, like, if you're saying that she's been with you for like a couple of weeks, like, now hasn't been dead for a couple of weeks.
I'm not dead.
Certainly were.
This canteen proves that you were. Your burnt ashes were in here.
The canteen is just shattered. There's no sign of ash or dust or anything in there.
I know, I'm just holding up a piece of broken canteen.
No, literally, like, there's no sign of
Oh,
anything particularly, you know, Nell-ish.
Maybe this is just another trick from him. And she takes a step back. Oops.
him.
Oh, you know he is this time.
Wait, do you have a book on you? By any chance, you collect random objects in?
She looks at you confused and then nods slowly and takes out a book. However, when she opens it, you don't see any of the stuff that she has had previously in there. You do see some writing in there, particularly. I mean, you're too far away right now to see what's in there.
Oh, I couldn't even understand it anyway. I just want to know if you had the book.
Yeah, but the other two. But the book looks, from the outside, it looks the same, but it doesn't look as thick as it did before, and it doesn't look as cramped with the knickknacks and random skins and hair and whatever she collected. It just looks like a book that she's been writing in.
Very odd.
Do you have a twin sister?
No? This is just my spell book.
Wait, can you tell us your age?
21?
Yeah. We can tell you're a little bit older than that.
What?
Well, let's not confuse her any more than she currently is. Essentially, we knew someone very similar to you. May or may not have been you. And, well, let's just say you may have died and you disappeared, essentially. You burst into some flames, all by yourself. There was no interaction. And we assumed, yes, well, you had died. And now you're here. So we're confused.
Ruken said you guys have died. And I was part of your group, but I have no memory of that. There was something with a dragon and a volcano. And this lady, and she points into a random direction, she doesn't know where she's going, is supposed to help us?
Right.
Yeah, I assumed you were dead because she just appeared to me by herself. You guys were not in sight. She had no idea who you were. I thought she was just traumatized. I was in denial. I was trying to work her through it.
Well, yeah. We weren't dead, so to speak, but we did get close at one point. And that was
today.
the point in which Nell passed away. So,
as Nell, being confused and not necessarily knowing what the heck is going on. I want to, if you allow me to, I would like to do an insight check to see if they have any bad intentions towards me, whether I can tell whether they're hiding something or maybe they're an illusion or something like that.
Roll an insight check.
I lost my. I'm guiding myself.
Well done for remembering you have an ability.
I know, a new ability as well. I don't need guidance.
You've already said it.
I rolled it anyway. 27.
27. They don't seem to be illusions. You did poke Sköld in the face.
Yeah, I do that. I go up to them again and I poke Aqua in the face this time.
Aqua,
As I
your
try.
incredibly bruised and pained body just lights up with more pain as Nell comes along and just pokes you in the face.
Ow! I'm real. Clearly, you still burn to the touch.
She looks at Vic. And then she casts Detect Thoughts.
There's nothing.
Do I get the surface thoughts or do I not get the surface thoughts?
The wisdom saving throw is only if you try and dig deeper. You get the surface thoughts for free, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, you can't dig any deeper because he's resisting. But
Okay. Tell me your surface thoughts, Vic.
Confusion. Don't know if this is real. Not hostile. Yeah. And also, you looked a bit younger, didn't you? Like significantly younger or
No,
not?
just a little bit.
Okay. So probably not too noticeable.
it's noticeable in the kind of, you know, she was adventure worn when you last saw her. You know, tired, a bit more haggard, a few more scars,
Probably,
definitely.
yes, scars. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So this might be like from how we originally met.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so confused, not hostile, bit concerned about Aqua nearly dying. Also curious if Hydra scales are expensive. That's about it.
She examines your face and tries to dig deeper. Obviously, she's not able to, and just narrows her eyes a little bit. There's something incredibly familiar about the three of you, but I just cannot put my finger on it.
Well, we did tell you. I mean, you were with us. You've been with us for a long time.
How did I die?
Random, weird, unexplained consequences.
Of what?
Natural death.
Essentially, it's going to take a lot of explaining, but we had a bit of an out-of-body experience where we fought a great battle, and unfortunately, you suffered more side effects because of this. You was knocked unconscious, and in trying to get you back safe, you took more damage, and that was it.
Okay. Meglo, do I still have my whip? Or do I have it again?
Isn't that in our bag of holding?
No. The whip would have been on me.
Your Hellfire Whip is not with you.
Okay.
Actually, what about that, Sköld? Get her belongings out that we managed to save.
Wait, you mean this like this thing? Hold up the skull.
No, put that down.
I'm just looking through my backpack. Do I have anything that I originally had? So I know all the magic stuff is with them, but do I have my daggers? Do I have my crossbow?
No.
So I have nothing on me. Oh yeah, I appeared naked, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
And just
Like the Terminator.
and just stole some clothes. Okay.
Yeah, you've basically just been coasting by with your spells, right? Recently.
Yeah. This is all very confusing. We've been just looking for money here, and she digs into her pocket, pulling out some coins that she's found on some of the bodies lying around. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I imagine it is very confusing, and it's equally confusing for us, but we can't expect you to join us again. Would be quite the leap. But if you do, we might be able to return some of your memories. Maybe, well, at least be able to help you in terms of finances. You still have your share of the money we were loaned to complete our quest.
When you mention the money, her head pokes up and she's getting a little bit more interested in what you're saying. But then she sort of drops that expression again, and she looks at you. And first she looks at Vic, then she looks at Aqua, then she looks at Sköld, and then back at Aqua and back at Vic. If I find out that you are lying to me, I will kill you.
You've already tried to do that multiple times before, so nothing out of the ordinary there.
Wow. The button.
Literally.
Be careful with threats, though.
Indeed. You did say last time you did something stupid to put you down, so to speak. The offer still stands.
I am in control of myself. I just don't know if I can trust you and know that you're not trying to trick me.
We have nothing to gain from tricking you. We can happily go on our ways and say that, well, at least we know that you're alive. We hope that you do well.
Once again, she looks back at Rukin, and I suppose she's very insecure. You can tell that she's very insecure, and anything that has happened in the last couple of weeks or however long she's been back, she has always run by Rukin, and he's the person that she's sort of narrowed in on. So she's not entirely sure whether she can trust you, but she looks back at Rukin, and she's again looking sort of inquisitively at him, looking for advice, looking for anything, looking for him telling her not to trust you, looking for him to tell her, yeah, they're fine, something like that.
Rukin has mostly just been stood there kind of gobsmacked about the whole situation, very taken aback. But you just come over. Well, I'm glad that you're all okay. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm very confused.
Because that makes all of us, really.
Yeah.
We all have the same goal, don't we? Or we all have the same... Go on.
I'm going to pipe up and be like, guys, I feel so bad. we need to rest because we need to find this Valkyrie soon. I need to sleep.
That's a good point. You are pretty much on death's door. I could heal you now, but as you say, maybe it'll be best to have a rest. Kind of an excerpt. When was the last time you rested?
About 6 hours ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's at least see if we can find this Valkyrie.
Well, let's have a short break then, and gather our strength again, and then we can go off and find this Valkyrie. If you wish to join, and I didn't catch your name. Is it now as it always has been, or?
Yeah, it's Anelia actually.
Okay. Well,
And she very briefly. Oh God, is it? No, it consumes a spell slot, doesn't it?
I don't know because
I need to check because I have it for a reason. No, I can use it all the time, I think.
I don't know.
Nah, yeah, I don't. It's fine. It's She looks at Sköld. It's just a disguise. I don't want to make people suspicious.
All right. Are we resting then?
Does it seem
Right.
safe to be resting here, or at least a short rest?
Yeah, I'd probably say let's get further away from the water in case there's more.
sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
You move away from the ground of battle and settle down for at least a short rest to try and recover some of your energy to make the most of the rest of your day. And with that, we'll end the session there, I think.
Ho.
Good job, guys. You didn't die.
Yeah.
And good job, guys. You leveled up.
Way! Woo! That's what I've been waiting for.
So you are now level 9.
Wow.
I know. Lofty heights.
Boom.
Big leagues.
Lofty heights.
You're gonna see me do so much more at level 9, like get swallowed, yeah.
Well, you get level 5 spells now.
Ooh.
Heat metal at the 5th level.
GG. Okay, so Vic gets
Nice
12 hit
roll.
points more.
Oh, which one was mine again? It was like rolling 8, wasn't it?
No, 6.
D6.
6.
Do the level 9 upgrade on your press C and do the up arrow.
Oh yeah, next to sorcerer. In the top right. I feel like there's confusion.
Take advantage.
Nope, character. No, you don't get advantage on that.
It says that's what it's come up naturally as. I have roll custom. Do not increase HP.
Roll.
Roll.
Okay.
There we go. So you get 7 and Sköld gets 10. Nice.
Ooh.
How many HP do you have, Aqua? Josh?
71. Well, at the moment 10. I have a total 71.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I've finally overtaken you.
Oh. I'm the squishy one now.
The competition
Yeah.
that's
Seems to
been
just
going
always
since.
being in it.
No, I think for the first 6 or 7 levels, we had the same XP the whole HP the whole time.
Yeah.
And then
And
I
I
had
got, like,
less
one of-
than you last level, and now I have 1 more than you.
1 more.
Okay, well, I leveled up and I got 10 extra HP, but then it just gave me 1. I went from 97 apparently to 98.
What?
Unless I was on 87 before. Oh, no, now it's updated to 98. Yep, okay, so I only got given 1 extra HP.
Check your D&D Beyond. It might show you what you get guarantee what you were before, but
Okay.
that was weird.
That is a weird one. Sköld, you were 87, so yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Huh.
You were 87, so now why are you 98? That's not the maths. Anyway, we'll sort that out. It's fine. Thanks everybody for watching. We do appreciate you. We'll be back next week, won't we, everyone?
Yes.
Next week, let's have a gander. Hold fire. Hold fire.
Oh no.
Yes.
Yes.
Next week, I'll be fine. It's the week after I'll be on holiday.
Okay, so we've got 1 week, and then we've got a Robbless week. Again. But we'll sort something. I'll let you know in the Discord, which, you know, you can join if you want to. It's here. Come join the Discord. I'll let you know what's happening on the 7th. And we'll see. So yeah. Bye to YouTube, I guess. Bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.